Bonjour, my beautiful barnacles. Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ProRevenge. Alrighty, this story's called When Trying to Get Your Deposit Back from Your Landlord is Like Drawing Blood from a Stone. Holy crap. This was much longer than I expected after typing it out. I've tried to shorten it as much as possible, but here it goes. Back in 2018, I had a temporary internship in California at insert large tech company, so I took a recommendation from a friend about a room for rent. It would be living with 5 other people, but otherwise it looked fantastic with spacious common areas, multiple huge TVs, full amenities, community rec center with pool, short drive times to multiple places of interest, all for $650 a month, utilities included. I contacted the landlord, whom I'll refer to as Crappy Landlord. He seemed fine on the phone, so I sent him my security deposit to move in a month later. When it came time to move, I discover a few caveats that come with this low rent price. The common areas were all dusty, none of the 3 large TVs worked properly. If we wanted access to the rec center and pool, we'd need to pay the $80 a month membership fee. And all of the short drives time estimates were exaggerated, unless you were speeding at 2 times the speed limit. Whatever, it's not the end of the world, especially at the relatively low price. I'll survive. But then it got worse in the coming months. Crappy Landlord decides to charge us an extra $20 a month for paper towels and public cleaning supplies. Crappy Landlord only checked a community mailbox once a week when he was in town and refused to trust anybody with a mailbox key. As it starts to roll into the summer, in June, Crappy Landlord decided that AC cost too much and we were using too much. So he removed the thermostat from the wall. Okay. One day, some of us tenants confronted him when he was at the house, since Crappy Landlord also slept at the house about 1 day a week. And I'll never forget his words as he rushed out the door. "It's legal for me to do it, and I don't care since I don't have to live here." Well, sir, screw you. I'm tilted as heck at this guy's obvious money grab from 6 tenants. Well, it turns out he's right. He legally doesn't need to provide air conditioning. So the next day, I purchase a high BTU freestanding portable air conditioner that exhausts out the window. Holy crap, this thing was luxury. Of course, I pump my room to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest setting. We have a couple other minor disagreements that wind up with Crappy Landlord texting me that it's fine if I wanted to break my lease and move out early. Perfect. When Crappy Landlord finally gets a whiff of my AC setup, he comes to my room to complain about my AC unit. I reply curtly, "It's illegal for me to do it, and I don't care since I don't have to pay for electricity." He leaves and later sends me a text. Yeah, okay. Unbeknownst to Crappy Landlord, I'm taking his move-out offer seriously, and this whole time, I've been rallying the troops. All the tenants have been upset about everyone's living situation, so with some minor encouragement, I managed to convince 2 of the other 6 tenants to move out at the same time as me. They were on a month-to-month arrangement. I finally submit all our notices of intent to vacate at the same time, barely a week after my previous conversation with Crappy Landlord. He's pissed. He was just trying to get me out of the house, but now he has 3 rooms to fill instead of just 1. I ask about my legally mandated pre-move out inspection. In no uncertain terms, he told me to go screw myself. He said he's too busy to perform an inspection. Well, that's illegal, but okay. Time comes to move out. I found another room for rent much closer to the office for only $100 a month more. We all move out and I text Crappy Landlord about my security deposit. No response. I text again. No response. Okay, I see where this is going. I spent days and days reading the law, compiling evidence and screenshots, and listing the laws that were broken. The smoking gun was the statute that requires a pre-move-out inspection and a list of things to fix, and an itemized list of deduction within 21 days Or else, crappy landlord loses the right to withhold any of my deposit. In addition, he would be subject to treble damages if he's found to be acting in bad faith. I text again and again. I give him plenty of leniency, and I even cite the laws so I can prove in court that I'm acting in good faith, and crappy landlord intentionally ignored the laws that I made him aware about. Crappy landlord probably thinks I'm a young pushover college student who won't follow through with legal threats. Well, sir, we're going to court because I'm petty as heck when it comes to people trying to screw me over. I file in small claims for $650 plus treble damages plus court costs. Crappy landlord files a counterclaim of $2,000 for damages to property, claiming I caused flooding and I broke the microwave. Okay, buddy. In response, I gathered testimonies from 3 of the other tenants and I built my case into a 40-page packet of evidence, complete with page numbers, a table of contents, and descriptions for every screenshot and photo. I make 3 copies of everything and submit it to the court and the defendant, crappy landlord. The court case is set for November and I leave the state just before Christmas, so just in time to appear in person. Crappy landlord thinks if I'm no longer in the state, he'll automatically win, since I'm not willing to fly back to California. Well, unbeknownst to crappy landlord, California courts offer an option to appear by telephone. He starts filing to request to postpone the trial a total of 3 times. The 3rd request is finally denied because even the courts are getting tired of his bullcrap. Final date is January. Court day comes and I get the call. I'm sworn in and then connected to the court. I'm given time to present my case. Unfortunately, I didn't prepare a script, so I kinda summarize the events and explain why I deserve money. The crappy landlord gets time to defend himself and explain his counterclaim. He doesn't prepare anything either, and he ends up rambling about random crap that doesn't help his case at all. For example, he spends a lot of time explaining how another one of the tenants was crappy and so his behavior was justified. The judge asks a few questions and announces that he'll review the evidence and we'll get the decision in the mail. Couple weeks later, I get the judgment saying I'm owed $650. Crappy landlord gets nothing. Well, damn, no treble damages for me. However, it's just my luck. The crappy landlord is a piece of crap that won't accept defeat. He files an appeal. It's granted. Redo trial is scheduled for May. This time, I'm 10 times more prepared. I have a hashed out script that I read, emphasize how often crappy landlord knowingly broke the law, and how I offered so much leniency. Once again, crappy landlord didn't prepare anything, but instead rambled on so much that even the judge told him to get back on track multiple times. The judge says we'll get his decision in the mail and the call ends. A couple weeks later, I get the judgment saying I'm owed $1,800. Crappy landlord still gets nothing. Well, damn, this appeal did not work out in crappy landlord's favor. He files for a mistrial, claiming I was not sworn in and that I lied in my testimony. Denied. Outside of court, crappy landlord offers a payment plan of $20 a month, which will take 7.5 years to pay back. Or otherwise, he refuses to pay up. Okay, I see how collecting my money is going to be. I figure out he banks at Bank of America by looking up the checks I gave him for rent and seeing where they got cashed. I file for a writ of execution that will allow me to perform a bank levy. It's granted, so I prepare a packet for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to go to Bank of America and take his money. They serve him with papers and freeze his account. After his allotted time to contest it, LACSD seizes his money, plus interest, plus fees. I finally get the glorious check in the mail 20 months after moving out. Total, $1,893.91. Okay, I know this is a really small part of the story. However, this guy mentions having his own personal, air conditioning wall unit in his room. If you guys have ever had your own, personal air conditioning unit in your room, you haven't lived yet, I'm just saying. Because back when my family was in the hotel business, I had my own hotel suite, okay? And in that suite, I'd have my own air conditioning unit, and I would turn that thing down so low all the time. I would sleep so well. And then when it was cold outside, which it would get sometimes, thank God, I would turn the heat up, and it was amazing because I didn't have to worry about bills. I'm just saying, if you're ever able to experience that sort of freedom, go for it. Alrighty, this story's called Brother Steals My Life Savings. I'm a 31-year-old male and currently serve in the British Army. I come from a very poor and broken family. My brother is 30, who also serves in the army but a different corps to myself. He lives directly opposite my father's house, and I live around 250 miles away. I wasn't raised by my parents and brought up by my grandparents, who were both retired and living off their state pension. So money was hard, but they did what they could, and I'm thankful. I worked on a local farm since I was 12 to get what other kids had, and often enough, money for food. My brother Martin was raised by my father and stepmom, who provided for him well. I have several other siblings who my mom raised. There's 8 of us in total. I know, get a hobby, watch the TV, or go outside. I only talk to one of my siblings, which is my half-sister Sarah. Martin is everything I hate in a person. Cocky, big-headed, gloats, and the world revolves around him. All my mail goes to my father's house. This is normal for people who serve. Over the 10 years, I had managed to save just under £35,000, which is a huge amount to me. I have lived a simple life, saving where I can and volunteered to deploy on operations, which we get a bonus for doing. I have officially spent over 4.5 years not sleeping in my own bed to achieve this and my dream of owning my own home, which is something unheard of in my family. Upon returning from my last operational tour, the time came to start looking for a home. I set my budget, got an AIP, agreement in principle, and found an area I liked. When the time came to start moving my money to a separate account, to my shock and horror, I discovered my account had less than £50 in it. I felt sick, horrified, and crushed. I called my bank hoping it was just a mistake. It wasn't. There had been a number of withdrawals and transfers made over the last 6 months that had cleared the balance. The only information they could give me was a statement showing the account it left and the account number that it was transferred to. I spoke to my stepmom, who has the info of my account, to find out if she moved it. As she went through the account, she had noticed the account number was my brother's. My blood is boiling now. I called him and let loose down the phone, and after a swift exchange of insults, he admitted to taking it. For those wondering what his excuse was, and I crap you not, "You don't need the money, you don't have a family, probably won't ever have one, and it's selfish having all that money and not sharing it." There was other things said to which I do not wish to share, and to put this into context for people, I'm gay and he's saying I will not have kids, therefore I did not need money or my own home. He earns above national average, lives comfortably, shoves it in people's faces. For example, when it comes around to Christmas, him and his wife like to post on social media how much they've bought. They literally lay it out all over their living and dining room floors, stacked high, and there is no room to walk, as a means to gloat to people who do not have the means to buy as much as them. Here comes the revenge. I'm back into no contact with him. However, I am fully aware of a few things. Martin's wife claims he lives with his mother, so she can claim state benefits for her and his 3 kids. I took leave from work for 3 weeks and go to visit my father and stepmom. I record my brother stopping at his house every single day and wrote a log of when he left and returned. My stepmother also informed me he isn't working much because he has told his sergeant major his wife and one of his kids are seriously ill and he needs to be home to take care of them. To clarify, they are not. They are in good health. In the British Army, you get paid full, whether you're off work ill, family issues, etc. A perk of the job. I sent this information to the Department of Work and Pensions, and they launched their own investigation. Aside from being a benefit thief, I then call his sergeant major after a discussion and a few emails of a link of social media, which is covered in videos of Martin and his wife always drinking, partying, and a lot of geotagging. He is called back to work immediately. From what he has told my dad, he was given a 2-year promotion ban and an £1,800 fine. I do not know how long he had been doing this for. He was also moved camp very quickly after this. His wife has also been ordered to repay a year's worth of benefit back to the taxpayer. Big win for the little people. Lastly, he also wrote off his shiny new car, which is probably where all my money went. As for what he's stolen from me, I've spoken to a legal expert in fraud who seems willing to take my case, and I want to fully press charges and reclaim what I can. My father, on the other hand, has told me not to take this route and proclaims if I do it, it will undoubtedly affect his kids and his ability to get work if he ever left the military due to gaining a criminal record. He suggested we talk of a repayment plan, as he's been punished enough, which I know it will never be repaid. I'm at odds with a guilty feeling. In order to take it to court, I'd have to lodge a formal complaint. However, I am bitter. It's crappy. I've grafted over all these years to improve my situation in life just to have it pulled from me. I'm thankful I've still got my health, but life's not been easy, and I feel like just giving up. I will update on my decision later. In my opinion, he should definitely go the legal route. Get your money back, dude. You worked too long and too hard. You put up with too much crap to not get your money back. This type of person has not and will not ever cut you slack just because you're family, so why should you do the same? And I'm not saying destroy his life, I'm just saying get back what's yours, because you need to live your own freaking life. You can still forgive the guy, you can still, hope he does better, but you need to get your money back, man. Alright, this last story is a funny one. It's from r/Today I Fudged Up. It's called Today I Fudged Up by Shaving My Crotch. Today I messed up by shaving my crotch. So this just happened about 30 minutes ago and I'm still mortified. I absolutely never thought I'd be writing on here, but you guys, today I have messed up. I'd like to preface this by saying I am currently living with my parents. With quarantine and a lack of socializing as much, I've been getting lazy. So much so, I've let the old shrubbery around the mighty oak get a little out of control. My hot fuzz was more than fuzz, and certainly not hot. My balls looked like Questlove touching a plasma globe. That all ended today. I decided it was time to get out of my funk. New month, new me, right? And what better way than starting with giving my junk a spa day? So I hopped into the shower, got things nice and hot, busted out conditioner, read on here it's way better for clearing the old Netherlands, if you will, and went to town. Now, kind Redditors, you may be thinking, aha! This is a tale as old as time. He's gonna give himself a Robin Hood. You know, when you cut your own coin purse open. But not today, my friends. No, today my pen was victorious against Gillette, and I stepped from the steamy mists of my shower smoother than a marble statue of Luther Vandross covered in baby oil. Frickin' A. I toweled off, got dressed, and stepped out of the bathroom. I headed downstairs and was quickly greeted by my mom asking one question. "OP, what on earth is on your face?" Now, I'm clean shaven, so unsure I reached up and pulled a clump of my Manazon rainforest off my cheek. I freaking wiped my own pubes onto my face and didn't even realize it. The bathroom mirror was so steamy, I didn't even bother to check my freaking face. Oh, crap. Even typing this out is traumatizing. Serves me right, I guess. My dad came into my room and started giving me crap, calling me Teen Wolf. God freaking damn it. Guess I'm self-isolating in my room for the next foreseeable future. I absolutely love seeing people screw up situations they easily could have come back from. Oh yeah, I was cleaning up my razor, must have got stuff on my face. I was just trimming my my body hair or something like that, you could very easily freaking explain a clump of puby looking hair on your face. In fact, beard hair is pubes. Like if you collected the stuff that comes off my beard hair trimmer and, if you compared them, they'd be identical. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.